Good morning. How do you like this? I know. So it is my daughter's belated birthday party today, and she wanted a jammies and stuffies theme. So guess what Mommy did? Mommy decided to run out and get her party lunch dinner supplies in my favorite unicorn onesie. Yes, I have absolutely no shame. It's totally do. I am gonna walk into the grocery store and get my daughter's stuff in this. Her favorite thing to do is stand outside the door when you're getting ready to come out of the bathroom or whatever and be like this and look like she's a little unicorn. Okay, now that I have your attention, I want to talk about something serious. What are you supposed to do when your favorite advocate or speaker or preacher or author lets you down? Says something you don't like, does something you don't like, publishes something you don't like. I want to introduce the idea of some analytical and critical thinking, because very often I'm seeing this happen over and over again. Very often in the advocacy world, I see women who have been silenced and shamed and told to stay in their torture by people who are ungodly, unbiblical, ill-informed, not trauma educated, not aware of how to understand and recognize abuse, all kinds of things. And so they tell women, go back, go back. And then you find an advocate or an author or a podcaster or a blogger, and you're like, oh my goodness, they get me. I feel seen. I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel validated. And it's very easy, if your mindset is one of an allegiance orientation, to take all of that allegiance that you placed on the spiritual leadership that kept you being sent back to torture, and all of that, honestly, that psychological and emotional and spiritual bondage that you were under with them. It's very easy to take that sense of loyalty and looking up to someone and just shift it to a whole new target audience. And that new target audience is now your favorite speakers, your favorite podcasters, your favorite bloggers, your favorite authors, your favorite advocates. And they hung the moon. They set you free. They have brought you freedom. Oh my goodness, they're your heroes. They're survivors, some of them anyway. They get it. And it feels so good to be seen. But it is so bad for us to place that level of power onto anyone in our lives outside of Jesus. So then, when someone comes out with data or research or an article or something, and you're like, that doesn't reflect my lived experience, I don't like that. I don't know anyone that fits. I don't like that. I think they're wrong. They've let me down. I feel betrayed. I can't trust anyone anymore. I can never trust any Christian person again. I'm never going to trust anyone ever because I feel let down again. And what ends up happening is that you're in the right exact same place that you were when you were finding freedom from those who were sending you back to torture, because now the humanity and the fallibility of those who opened your eyes to healing is now being exposed. And you're seeing that they're human, that they're still learning, that they don't have it all together. Now, some caveats. Am I saying that when we find out that spiritual leaders are, I don't know, that there's a pastor who's been a pedophile and he's sexually assaulted women or children or whatever, that we should just be like, oh, well, he's just still growing. We just can't put him on a pedestal. No, I'm not saying we should ignore crime. I'm not saying we should ignore abuse. I'm not saying that we should start glossing over things just in the name of, oh, well, they're just human. They're still learning. So, nothing disqualifies anybody. Stop with the pendulum swinging. Like, don't go, woo, everybody needs to die if they've ever done anything wrong, to like, woo, nobody needs to have any accountability or consequences. There is healthy middle ground, but it requires each of us not being lemmings. It requires each of us having critical analysis, and that means that you have to focus not just on following new leaders, but on developing your own ability to look at something and say, okay, up against this rubric of what God says, up against what I know to be true, up against a filter of truthfulness, where do each of these things measure up? And yes, you're going to connect with the way some people say things better than you're going to connect with the way other people say things. That's why at Wild here, I am always referring other people to, women inside our private groups and everything. I'm always referring people to other advocates. You don't belong to me just because you're in a Wild group. I'm not your like the person on your stage holding the microphone. I want you to learn from Natalie Hoffman, and I want you to learn from Sheila Gregoire, and I want you to learn from Andrew Bauman and Patrick Weaver, and I want you to learn from Gretchen Baskerville, and I want you to learn from Psalm 82 Initiative, and I want you to learn from Gino Otiende and Intentional Today. I want you to learn from anyone who brings truthfulness and healing to you in a way that aligns with God's truth. So if you can hear their voices better than mine, great! If you resonate with how I word stuff or the way I make stuff look and it just speaks to you because maybe we're both neurodivergent and you're like, wow, like the way she words stuff, it makes it clearer to me than other people, great! If I'm not your person, that's okay. As long as you're healing. As long as you're continuing to improve in critical analysis and critical thinking. So when someone comes out with data or reports and you're like, I don't like how they said this. Like, I love that part over there, but I don't like how they said this. Okay, well, is the way that people approach things, are they doing it to the best that you can tell with a pure heart and seeking the truth alongside you? Or are they doing whatever they're doing with an attitude of covering up, of stifling others, of trying to enable sin? Are they willing to grow? When you see someone and they're letting you down and you feel betrayed because you put a whole lot of stock in what they're saying, are you observing in their character that they are constantly changing and improving and recalibrating and growing? Or are they refusing to listen to anyone? And if they are standing their ground, are they standing their ground because that's what data and scriptures say, even if it doesn't exactly fit your personal experience? Or are they standing their ground on really, really wrong things out of just pride and arrogance? Like, we have to apply critical thinking to our healing process. We have to apply analytical assessment to the people that we choose to glean nuggets from. You cannot just accept, like, put someone on a pedestal, me, anyone. Don't put us on pedestals and be like, well, they've got it figured out, I can trust everything they say. No, because we're still figuring it out. We're learning and we're growing. And the stuff that I said 5 years ago, I can't stand by all that stuff now. I have to recalibrate. I have to go back and change stuff. The stuff that other people have said, if they are not revising, that's a red flag. If they are, and they're owning it. Hey, I'm in a different place, and now I know this other new stuff, and now I'm expanding and I'm recalibrating. That's somebody that you can let into your life more, assuming that you resonate with them. So I guess what I just wanted to say this morning, and yes, I totally intended to just do this in my unicorn jammies so that when somebody comes, because I know I will get messages, they're like, there was that one video about analytical thinking. And I'm like, I don't know. There's so many videos. And they're like, the one in the unicorn jammies. Oh, that one. Yeah, we can find that one. So what I want is to challenge you not to let your world come crashing down because other people are on pedestals and then they say something you don't like or you can't agree with or that doesn't resonate with you or that you feel needs to be recalibrated. I want you to glean through your own filter of what God says is true and put that up against your lived experience for your own wisdom. And I want you to humbly and kindly filter through what resonates for you, what is true for you, what could be accurate for other people, even though it isn't accurate for you, and then reject what is not. You need to have your own filtering system because there will be good things you can take from some people and you don't consume the rest. And there will be things where you feel like with this person or that person, I can pretty much trust everything. We're like way on the same page. And then there will be people where you're like, yeah, there's like zero overlap here. I'm going to have to pass on this one. And you need to be making those decisions for yourself, not transferring the power of what you accept and what goes into your mind from those who sent you back to torture onto new people and still giving over that power to anyone. That gleaning, that filtering is between you and God. No one else can be your Holy Spirit for you. Not reporters, not advocates, not authors, not bloggers, not podcasters, not preachers, not speakers. You must dig into your own conscience, your own healing journey, your own radical understanding of the truth. Because every human everywhere that you put on a pedestal for any purpose at some point is going to reveal their stupidity or their humanity or their flawed fallibility. And if you have them up on a pedestal, you are going to feel heartbroken and betrayed and let down. They never belonged on the pedestal in the first place. You can honor and respect and appreciate people without putting them on pedestals where their humanity hurts your healing. So don't do that to me. Don't do that to anybody else. Keep people off pedestals. The only perfect person that belongs on a pedestal in your life is Jesus Christ. That's it. He does not share the throne with any humans. And he is here to teach and guide as we each listen. And we are all growing and we are all improving. We are all shifting and recalibrating and changing. So when you see stuff and you're like, put it to the test. See what you need to recalibrate. And don't worship or idolize humans. Stick to truth on your journey. Now I'm going to go and get some hot dogs in my unicorn jammies. I'm actually going to do it on a college campus, and all those young 19-year-olds who are going to be in this store are going to laugh at my 40-something self in there in my unicorn jammies, and I'm here for it.